Vincent, good morning. How are you?
Oh, hi, Michael. How are you?
Yeah, I'm well, thanks. Yes, but how are you?
That's good. Yeah, good. Good. I'm sort of exhausted from the self-indulgent luxury therapy. I'm exhausted from it. I don't think I could do it much longer.
Right. Well,
it's just really, like, it's hard keeping up with luxury. It's hard. There's always new stuff and it's always new things to do, and I just don't have the stamina for it. And the bank balance, it's very expensive. So I know with, like, the humanistic kind of approach, I can go more povo, can't I?
Povo?
Well, more sort of poorer, rather than luxury.
You mean like the way that I live, as opposed to the way that you and you. Of course, of course you can. No, and again, it's. I did want to. I did want to raise this because I feel maybe. I don't know, like, when we talked about, the humanistic and client-centered, it wasn't a license to spend and go luxurious. It was more. It wasn't material. It was spirit. Not spiritual. Goodness, no. No. It was. So. We can do that, but listen. So I think that you've worn yourself out. Consuming that you have, that you have, indulged and felt that may not be the right thing. It, again, is showing signs of if not progress, certainly awareness.
Yeah. Okay, yeah. Well, I just sort of, I got to this point where I'm like, I'm surrounding myself with these beautiful things, and I'm thinking about stuff, and I just kept thinking about more stuff. I just kept thinking about what other stuff I needed. And then I actually completed that survey you sent through, that advanced special wants.
Yes, I got it from you. Thank you. Yes.
And I think I'm actually more like a special request kind of client.
Well, so in completing the survey, and I'll let Michael obviously, evaluate, but it's something that we will definitely come back to. But look, listen, what I wanted to raise with you, and where I think where we kind of left off in the last session is, we spent some time exploring the Star Wars universe, which I found really helpful, just in terms of your kind of what you were drawn towards, and for example, and to be honest, I'm not surprised that you've tired of all this consumerism. You've all this consumption. That can be very tiring. People used to die from consumption in the old days.
Yes,
they called it consumption.
I think they're dying of consumption now.
Well, not so much, because we have Medicare, obviously, and that's great. But so that's thankfully that's in the past. But
and internet banking.
And internet banking, we have that too. Yes, we have all these things. But we talked, but just to that point, where we left off, I noted you sort of. You mentioned, Yoda as one of your, sort of favorite characters, which I thought was great.
Yes.
And so you saying, well, I'm done with, consuming is great, because Yoda is, Yoda. Well, I say is, but like, it's a fictional character, obviously. But what Yoda embodies, although it's a very small body,
Yes.
I don't know if you saw that scene where, Yoda with the lightsaber fighting these, big hulks. It was just ridiculous, but that's the magic.
Very cute.
Very magic, the magic of special effects. But that to me kind of does the full circle. So we can kind of that makes perfect sense. But I thought we might try just have another taste of the carrot, so to speak. I'm not sure if that's the right way to another nip at the bud. No, that's not the right. Anyway,
nip at the bud.
Well, it's you know what I mean. Is maybe sort of now because we talked about the Star Wars characters that you liked or that appealed to you.
Yes.
And it resonated, and you mentioned there was a bit of dissonance there because on the one hand you like Yoda, on the other hand you like Darth Vader, and there was all that talk about the void and lightsabers and the colours, and that was all fantastic. It was really useful to get an understanding of where your head's at. But I thought maybe if I kind of turn the tables a little bit and sort of say, well, of the Star Wars universe, which of the characters, and again, I'm very happy to share with you, my observations and things like that. But just, which of the characters do you sort of feel, repelled by, or even as far as repulsed, but sort of like a antipathy. Do you feel some antipathy towards?
I really, I didn't like, out of all those characters, I really didn't like Chewbacca. I just found Chewbacca to be kind of, obviously just big. But for me, it's like, who picks up after Chewbacca? You've got like a huge dog-like creature.
Well, it was ape-like, but animalistic.
Well, animalistic, but who picks up? Do you know what I mean? Like, does Han Solo walk around with huge garbage bags in his belt?
No, that's a good point.
Do you know what I mean? It's those kind of practicalities that I found really disconcerting about the Chewbacca, because obviously, unless would Chewbacca lick, how does Chewbacca clean itself after?
That's a very good. I hadn't actually given that much thought, but I'd always assumed that Chewbacca being like a sort of, I don't know, it was modelled on an ape of sorts. I don't know, but something that's kind of
I thought it was more like a dog.
Well,
a walking dog.
So you associate, interesting. So that's the other question. What do you? So you associate Chewbacca with the dog? Interesting. Okay, but I always kind of thought, Chewbacca, sentient enough to, fly the Millennium Falcon and wield a laser, machine gun thing. Probably can manage going to the toilet and wiping itself. That's just me. That's just the way that I saw it. I figured, although
but the hair's very long.
Well, look. Yes, and then of course, then it sits on the, on the seat of the Millennium Falcon, and oh my God, you can imagine what's going on there. No, okay, so Chewbacca.
I thought that through.
They hadn't really thought that. No, I agree. Okay, so Chewbacca's one. Any others that sort of had that?
Can you imagine the toilet habits of Yoda?
Well, it'd have to be a small toilet for starters.
That's right. It'd be like a... so it's toilet habits of creatures that I sort of think about when it comes to those kind of...
Right, so toilet, interesting, okay. This does take us all the way back to Freud, which, oh my goodness, I don't know how to... with the toilet.
We can't go back there. We can't go back to Freud.
There's no going back. There is absolutely no going back. But it's interesting that you should... this is Vincent. This is fantastic, but look, our time is almost up, and but it's interesting that your thoughts just gravitate instantly towards how do these characters so do you ever find yourself, sort of visualizing these characters actually going to the toilet, or do you just is it an abstract thing of I wonder?
No, it's just it's basically the practicality. So I'm thinking, what kind of toilet paper would they use?
What kind of toilet paper?
They use bidet. Is there a bidet on the Millennium Falcon?
Probably not.
All that sort of stuff.
The Falcon was a rickety old thing. Of course, there's no bidet. It's not. We're not talking 5-star. Yeah. But oh wow. Okay, so toilets, right? We definitely need to come back to
yes.
your. I'm sensing some issue with toilets, which we'll definitely come back to in the next session, Vincent. That's terrific. But listen, I trust no harm or self-harm in the intervening period.
No, none of that. I just need a little bit of, like, if I'm going to go more austere with my self-indulgence,
yes.
Do you have any suggestions for that? Like, should I start dressing like a monk, or like who should I model myself on?
Look, I wouldn't start with the with the sort of appearances, or the sort of the superficiality. I would say to your partner, given that you're not paying for the sessions, is to say, look, stop giving me $700 for each of the counselling sessions, the psychotherapy sessions.
Do that. No, I can't do that. No, it's automatic transfer.
It's automatic transfer. And what about the sessions we missed? Do you still get paid? Do you still get for those?
Yeah. Yes, I do.
All right. Well, listen. Definitely something we need to come back to. All right. Terrific. Well, Vincent, this has been amazing. I've really. I feel like, yes. Thank you. Okay. Look, I look forward to speaking again soon. Take care.
Oh, thanks, Michael. Thank you so much.
Bye. Bye.